Hey folks, another video for today. Just saw my probation officer earlier, so I'll go over some documents and things with you here. Also, so here's where I'm allowed to go. I've got a fair amount of leeway within this area. I can go anywhere within these counties without having to ask for permission. After that, then I can do that. So if I want to go over here on the east side or anywhere else in the country or the world, I need to ask for permission from my probation officer. So there's the business card. Don't want to give any more information than that, but that's what is given to me. I also need to fill out my net worth statement, monthly cash flow statement, complete a supervision report by internet, and other stuff that I probably shouldn't share on public social media because it's too personal. I sent a request to talk to a few people who are felons. I need to get advance permission for that. Tim Martin and Joanna Smith and Jessica and Ruby were some requests. And the president, of course, were some requests I made. We'll see if they get approved. Start looking for some type of work. Part-time is okay, they say. I need to get a paycheck job, but part-time's fine. There's some people I met in prison that I wanted to keep in touch with, but then when I got out, I found out I'm not supposed to talk to them without advance permission. So now I need to find their real names so I can submit them and say, can I please talk to this guy, this guy, this guy, you know? So that's a to-do. I reached out to my lawyer of the time. He said at sentencing, we have a big restitution that my co-defendant and I have to pay. It's like over $50,000. And he said to me that we'll split that in half. I'll pay half and my co-defendant will pay half. But on my paperwork, it doesn't say that I'm paying half of that. It just says $50,000 or whatever it is. So I sent him a text asking him, like, okay, can we make sure they know that I'm only paying half of this? So I just did that. That's it. Could cut it off now, but usually when I let these things run, I get something good out of it. So I'm going to let it run. See what happens. I didn't drink pop much for a long time. I did when I was living back here in Michigan at my mom's place. And now that I'm here for the holidays, I've started it up again. We got some nice weather here finally. Christmas was pretty snowless, but here's more what I'd like to see when I'm in Michigan, you know? The snow that's falling is too small and fine for you to pick up, I think, on this camera. But yeah, it's beautiful. Shame you can't see it. So I'm looking for a paycheck job. Question is, do I get something that's just quick and satisfies the needs of it pays money? Because I can do that real quick, right? I can go to a sandwich place and work there again. Just like, like that. Or do I try and do some other place and actually like spend more time trying to make it happen? The issue is I don't think anything that pays is going to be a good job, or even good without the quotations, but just good. Maybe it could be, but I'd have to create it, I think. I don't think anything that exists it's good that pays. unfortunately. And if you can think of something, let me know. And then when I was discussing this with my mom, what's a job? Should I just get a job, easy job, satisfy the needs of a part-time job, or should I try for something that something more than just a paycheck to make the probation officer happy, and a little bit of time spent there. And in thinking about that, if I'm going for the better for everyone route, I was thinking, I probably should just go out and disable internal combustion engines in vehicles, right? That won't pay me. It'll probably get me locked up pretty quickly, but at least it'll be more defendable, I guess. Like, in court, when I did my case, the judge was like, okay, you'd block roads, and at least that's related to the problem, right? But this throwing paint on things, it isn't. And I think that's been an issue, is that a lot of the roadblocks and this paint, they don't directly address the problem. They try and bring attention to the problem. That's why we're doing it. But I think I've said this before too in a previous video, we should start doing things that directly also address the problem. Like if we want less cars on the road, we want less airplanes in the sky, unless they're sustainable, unless they're electric or even hybrid, right? But most cars, are like over 90% of cars aren't even hybrid. So that's the thing to do. If we do a roadblock, don't say we're doing it. We're not trying to bother these people. Do it because we're trying to bother these people. People went in to do their sit-ins during the freedom and did the freedom rides and all that. They did these things to get a response from the public, to bother people. And because they should be allowed to do it. That's an important thing too. When I did the paint action, I wasn't trying to say everyone should be allowed to throw paint. I was trying to say this is a big problem, we need to pay attention to it. Sort of like what Just Stop Oil I've been doing. But I think maybe it's more effective. When I did the roadblocks, it's like we need people to pay attention to it. But I think more effective is to say we're doing these roadblocks because you should not be driving these cars. And you shouldn't be driving these cars. And you're not stopping it, so we will. Rather than just saying we're doing these because we want you to pay attention to an issue. That's the only ethical thing really to do these days, is disable internal combustion engines. They're like a big part of the problem. If not that, you can disable a coal plant, disable natural gas. It's going to be very disruptive, especially if you do natural gas. But we've put it off for this long. There's no other options to do that or accept the consequences. I could get into something else, but we're running long now. Long enough. All right, take care.